Hello, I'm Cecilia Mainzer, a 4-H'er from Medina County, and here is my story. A supercut is like the opposite of a bloopers reel. It's a mashup of all the best moments and scenes from a story or series. In this life, 4-H will always be a part of my supercut. Actually, my entire 4-H story would make my supercut because everything I've learned came from being a 4-H'er. 4-H has impacted and influenced the course of my future every moment and has made me into the person I am today. If I had to make a supercut of my supercut, or even a supercut of specifically my 4-H story, I think it would look a little like this. My 4-H career started like most experiences start, with my mom saying, "Hey, you need to do this." And so it began. I was enrolled in 4-H as a Clover Bud at 6 years old. I joined the Hinckley Backyard Buzzards 4-H Club and signed up for my very first project. I skipped the washer and went directly to the laundry dryer for my project. I explored alternative methods to dry your laundry and made a poster that depicted laundry hanging on a clothesline. I remember being extremely nervous when I sat down in the Clover Bud judging circle, waiting to be judged. Tears threatened to spill from my eyes, but I was able to recount my project triumphs and tribulations to the group and the 4-H volunteer. At just 6 years old, I was put into a position to start developing the skills I would need to get a career. 4-H projects not only paved the way to learn new things in a fun way, but gave me an idea how to successfully conduct myself in an interview. From my first project to my last project, I continued to strengthen these skills, but I also craved to expand and uncover new skills I was missing. As a 4-H'er, I did a variety of still exhibit projects: nutrition, fashion, leadership, quilting, canning and freezing, but I wanted to cross the line that separated still exhibit projects from livestock projects. It wasn't until my final year that I was able to show at the fair. There was a 4-H advisor that lived down the road from me and heard how I wanted to take a livestock project before I aged out. She gave me the opportunity to keep my goats on her land with her goats if I also took a duck project with her daughter. This 4-H advisor helped me and showed me everything I needed to know about raising and showing goats and a duck. I woke up early every morning to go over her house to feed all the animals, and I would practice walking my goats to try and familiarize myself with proper showmanship techniques. This 4-H advisor taught me so much and gave me the opportunity to learn the extreme dedication and commitment necessary to take care of animals. For me, this was a pivotal moment in my 4-H journey, because even though I grew up in a house that didn't have a spacious backyard for farming and animals, I was still able to show livestock. 4-H taught me the importance behind making worthwhile connections and what it means to be a part of a community. As I worked on my projects, I also got involved in other aspects that the 4-H organization offers. When I was 15 years old, I got selected by my county to go to the state 4-H leadership camp. It was at this camp where I was open to the possibilities that stretched beyond county 4-H. Coming to leadership camp, I had experience of being a leader. I served in numerous officer positions in my local club. I was a Medina County camp counselor, officer on junior fair board, junior leaders, and fashion and nutrition board. But I didn't realize the extension 4-H had until this camp opened my eyes. There are 6 pillars of leadership: discipline, trust, understanding self and others, motivation, initiative, and courage. At leadership camp, each pillar was explored through numerous activities and reflection. I was able to think and evaluate how I needed to grow to be a better leader. And while I was there, I discovered other state opportunities that led me to the Ohio 4-H Teen Leadership Council. The Ohio 4-H Teen Leadership Council was completely different than everything I knew about 4-H previously. Working and being surrounded by amazing 4-H'ers from across the state gave me new friends and peers that I would learn so much from. On the Ohio 4-H Teen Leadership Council, I started as a member, and throughout the years, I continuously got involved and became an officer. I learned how to work with a team and a council to better the 4-H program across the state and advocate for the youth of 4-H. The council taught me how to plan professional programming and immersed me into a new culture of endless growth. As an Ohio 4-H representative, I traveled to Crossville, Tennessee for the Southern Region Teen Leadership Conference, Washington, D.C. for Citizen Washington Focus and National 4-H Conference, and Atlanta, Georgia for National 4-H Congress. Being able to share my pride and represent Ohio 4-H on a national level has been incredible. And here, 4-H taught me how to share. Share my love, my passion, my energy. When I became a member of the National 4-H Design Team, I was so honored and blessed because I was able to work with a team of youth and adults from across the country in different time zones of different backgrounds to put on a national event and celebration for the participants. Planning a week of activities, workshops, and speakers for a group of 900 youth was something I never tried to do before, but I learned how to contribute and voice my opinions and thoughts, even when I only met the team once, 10 months before the big event. And I didn't forget how I got to that point, why I was able to experience those life-changing moments. It was because I got to share my 4-H story, what Ohio 4-H taught me, the lessons I've learned, and how I have grown. 4-H has taught me a plethora of life lessons and skills. 4-H taught me how to be a leader, a listener, a mentor, and a citizen in my club, my community, my country, and my world. Some people reflect on the decisions they made and wonder if their life would be different if they chose a certain path over the other. Would their supercut be different? Would it showcase a different highlight? Maybe it would have more bloopers. I wouldn't be telling the truth if I didn't think like that from time to time. And honestly, pondering those questions only leaves you with guesses. There's no concrete answer that can be derived from that thought process. But as wild as it sounds, I know I have the answer, the correct answer. I know that by doing 4-H, by being involved and dedicated and inspired by 4-H, it has absolutely changed the course of my future. Right now, I think I'm about 7 minutes into my speech. Actually, I'm 7 minutes, 49 seconds into my speech. I started a stopwatch. But in those 8 minutes now, I tried to share and recount the lessons I've learned in 4-H. But I didn't come close to telling you everything 4-H has given me. Quite a bit, I'm asked the question, where did you learn this? And every time my answer is, I learned it from 4-H. I learned everything from 4-H. It is always 4-H. It always comes back to 4-H. 4-H is the foundation, the first building block. When I say everything, I mean it would take a lifetime to explain and recount the things I've learned in 4-H. But the crazy thing is, I want to make that story an even longer lifetime. I want my supercut to be so long, it would beat the Hunger Games Mockingjay and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows and be split up into 3 movies instead of 2. I'm no longer a 4-H member. I've officially aged out. But I am also very excited to speak in front of you all today and say that I am thrilled that my lessons from 4-H don't stop here. A supercut is like the opposite of a bloopers reel. It's a mashup of all the best moments and scenes from a story or series. This is the first supercut of the first chapter to a very long story that I call 4-H. And I think I'm going to title my next chapter, What I Learned as an Advisor. Specifically, the lessons I've learned from the youth of today and the leaders of tomorrow. Thank you.